Hello, Hello, slots enthusiasts. How are you? My name is John Friedel. Welcome to Professor Slots, a channel devoted to mastering casino slots so you can win your way to success. Today, we're going to be diving into how being an entirely self-taught slots player, which we all are, has basically come to an end. It's great to see you all here again for another Professor Slots podcast episode and live stream. Yes, this is a podcast episode, even if you are in the live chat. If you're here with us live, be sure to say hello, ask your slots related questions, and share if you've bought my book. That would be great if you were to do that. Because today we're going to be talking about some of these things. Now, as usual, it has become usual for Chuck to donate $20 and this time 17 cents on a super chat. Feel free to do that, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Right, and I will share that on the screen for you. And he says, "Hello, everyone." So Chuck says hello to everybody. um, and glad to recognize his contributions. Right. So thank you for those who have begun to share if they've bought my book. We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. And we should talk about the merchandise too. Today's is going to be that kind of a show. So I'll check in with the live chat. It's kind of seeing it out of the corner of my eye. I check in with the live chat a little later in the show, and a special thanks to Paula for again being our moderator. Thank you, Paula. Thanks also to all the early arrivals. There's business terms that entrepreneurial terms I can use. Thanks to the early arrivals, my superfans. That showed up before the start of the show and the friendly discussion we all had in chat, mostly about weather. We've got several people in the live chat who are in various locations in Texas, some in South, some in North, and some a little more in between where the worst of it was. And people are still popping in as they will all through the show. Usually get a surge towards the end as YouTube lets more and more people know that I'm be doing this. So today I want to talk a little bit to you about all this self-taught stuff that's been going on for so long that is exclusively what we've been doing, except now you have options. So I've been helping slots players since 2013. Yes, 2013 was kind of more like my coworkers. I didn't have a platform yet. I hadn't even, I think I kind of knew what Twitter was, I suppose, but I certainly didn't have 10,000, 11,000 followers, anything like that. No Facebook slots enthusiast communities for each state, and Professor Slots enthusiasts for kind of like the whole world. So yes, thank you for thanks to the many new slots enthusiasts that are continuing to show up at my weekly live stream, and those that are downloading my podcast episodes. You are very welcome to be here. Now, I've been as I said, I've been helping slots players since 2013. Today, I have a growing YouTube channel, website, podcast, books on Amazon, and more, which means I get to hang out with slots enthusiasts like you, helping you improve your slots gambling performance, reach past those roadblocks, and really start experiencing the growth you want to see from playing slot machines, and reach the goals you have for it. I really love. We'll talk about those goals in a little bit. The most common goals. I really love doing this. I do. I'm passionate about it because I get to invest in relationships with slots enthusiasts, just dive into their approach to slots gambling with them and review it with them and put an action plan in place for them to really take it to the next level. It's interesting, all the different types that I've met. I had a consult recently and was it yesterday? Time flies. Yesterday or the day before. And they were winning. They were winning enough, but they weren't able to leave the casino with it because they're like, "Great, now I'll spend it." And they're like, "Oh, I spent it. Darn it. How do I," some people need to learn how to win. And then the other stuff comes along, like, so now how do I leave with it? And then there's plenty of people who know how to win, but they just haven't sort of put together a plan on how to, there's loss limits, but there's also preserving gains, and there's multiple ways to do that. And so we can talk about how you can get out of the casino more. I love hearing about the people who are like, I just won a bunch. I'm out the door as soon as I possibly can. And that's fine too. But on the other hand, if it's a winning machine, you have to sort of decide whether or not, that's what you do. And sometimes it's the right call. And sometimes it's like, well, we'll see. So, um, so some slots enthusiasts have come to me never having experienced a hand pay. And usually by hand pay, I mean $1,200 or more. But now they have multiple hand pays, while more importantly, making a tidy profit from playing slots. But whether your goals are purely financial, or you're just really passionate about a certain topic you want to talk about, or maybe you want to try making a living at playing slots, I just really like partnering with people like you to make those dreams a reality. I've helped slots enthusiasts, and I'll have some quotes later. Unfortunately, I don't have recordings of them saying this. They sent me messages, emails, and so I've captured them, and I'll share some of those with you so you know what's going on. But I've helped slots enthusiasts all over the U.S. advance in Players Club tier levels. Someone who I haven't seen in a little while, Chip Barron, is his title that he uses on YouTube. We discussed some things, and he was able to advance to, I think he ended up being top tier, and not probationary, firekeepers in Michigan. So I've helped people advance. I keep winning as much as they have while learning to lose less often. As I said, sometimes people are winning, but and that's great. The money's coming in, but it's also going out, and they're trying to reduce that. They also might be stretching their bankroll at a casino for longer lasting entertainment, and earn a profit from slots if that's their gambling goal. So your slots play is in very good hands here. Whether you are a slots enthusiast just getting started, someone who has been playing slots for a while, but is struggling to improve, or you're performing well as a professional gambler, but you just want to take it to the next level, I've got all those options here for you. Thank you for the opportunity. And I've spent the last 7 years committed to helping slots enthusiasts like yourself understand and improve their slots gambling performance. Along the way, I've been lucky to help thousands of people, from slots enthusiasts just starting to professional gamblers with a bankroll who are starting to play slots instead of just table games. And they might have a bankroll in the thousands of dollars on every casino trip. And now I want to help you. So Marilyn from Illinois says, "Hi, John. I haven't been to an Illinois casino in years, but I can't give any insight about them. For the last couple of months, I have gone to Vegas. I was one of those who said the only kind of luck I have is bad luck. You could not believe my shock when I was in Vegas and won $1,272 after listening to you. I played the Tarzan slot machine. I was so excited I was screaming like Tarzan. Oh my God. So fun when you win. After 1 week and paying all my expenses, I came home with $900. I will be going back again soon. Thank you." So that was from Maryland, from Illinois. Gina from Staten Island says, "Hi, John. I was so happy to hear some of your winning strategies for high limit slots. I have won several hand pays since taking all your advice. The high limit slot machine Sahara Gold has been very good to me and paid me 4 hand pays in less than 1 hour and a half. So 1 hour and a half. Your advice really works for the slot machines. I like playing blackjack, but since I've been watching you, I play slots too now. Thanks so much, John." So that's a couple of the testimonials that I've been getting, and the people that I've been helping. And but let's check in with a live chat. I have more, but let's check in with a live chat and briefly say hello. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, my heart goes out to the people in Texas who have had some amazing experiences with the weather. I grew up in Michigan, and I currently live in Ohio, Southern Ohio, and I kind of know what it's like. But if you don't have the equipment, if you're living in a house built to be, air conditioned and cool, it's a little bit different from, what I've got going on. I'm a little concerned about not having a great connection here. I apologize if I'm not having a great connection. The stream health says it's excellent, but I seem to see some delays going on. I will hope for the best. Okay. Yes, a bunch of people have said that they bought the book. I'll go over that in a little bit. There's an audio book, as well as the ebook, PDF, softcover. And Chuck says he ventured out to a casino. He's from St. Louis, one of our Chucks. Ventured out to a casino last week, and 2 friends and everyone came out ahead. Excellent. Let's see, Texas. Doreen calls my Saturday live stream a Saturday pick-me-up, and she loves it. Let's see. So we've got people in Texas. That's great. Gary is here. Hi, Gary. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for saying it's great content and that you're eager to learn. Yeah. Eddie, I hope your family, your sister-in-law and family I know it's been tough. Okay, so Jan's, Texas Tootsie says, I have the book and some of the merchandise, I'm a slots enthusiast. I am at quite a few subscribers. I think I'm at just about to cross over into 10,000. It might be Sunday, tomorrow, or the day after, in which case I will get my merchandise, which is all set up from Teespring, is all set up to go, and that'll show up just below all my videos on my YouTube channel. So you can, you've had to go to professorslots.com/swag to find my store. Yeah, so that's available but it will be available to thousands more people. And I hope that you take a look and see if there's anything you like. Yes, the other Chuck is here. Stephanie, good morning. Yes. And Doreen is sharing, everybody should buy my book. You won't be disappointed. Yes, bad weather. Yeah. AK, hi, PS. Sometimes they get called PS. And another thing, no, they mean Professor Slots. Good vibes. The picture is not totally clear. Can't hear you fine though. Thank you. Yeah, I'm seeing some feedback here. I'm not sure what's going on. Unfortunately, something to do with the connection, even though it says it's fine. My apologies for the quality of the video. And let's see. Eddie says, let's see. Yes, Steve says, John, rural internet, that's why. We did have like a foot of snow in the last week. There could be something to that. But you can hear me, that's best. And I have a few things to show you, but you should be able to pick it out in general. Luckily, this time I don't have the graphs with 8 different casinos, squiggly lines everywhere. Right. Let's see. Hi, Professor, from Eddie. Have you had more luck with progressive jackpot machines or ones that don't? There's a couple of different ways to answer that question. There's different types of progressive machines, like those that are networked with a huge network, and those that are within the casino, but then those that are outside the casino, those have the life-changing jackpots. And then there's standalone slot machines, or maybe just a row of 5 or a carousel of 6. I've been using my techniques of being highly visible lately. That's where I've been focused. The progressive jackpot machines, it's a long-term plan. And one of the things I'm doing and trying to get videos up about is going to a different casino all the time. And that makes it hard for progressives because you want to check to see where the jackpot is at and then start keeping a log of where it's at every time you go. But if you go to one different casino every time, it makes it harder to do that. And I, I, it's a long-term approach, and it's not quite conducive to my trying it anymore. When I was going to just 2-3 casinos near me, yeah, but now it's less possible. Yeah, I'm told. I apologize for the quality of the video. There's apparently nothing I can do with it. I had a few minutes beforehand to try a couple of different things, and I think what is it? Like if there was big sporting event or something, pulling down. Maybe everybody's watching the news or something, in the farmland around me. Okay. Hey Joyce, welcome back. Linda, good morning. Does the 5-spin test? Oh, right. I will stop worrying about the quality of the video as much as I worry about it. There was a question. Someone had a question. Belterra Park. Yes. Kay asks, does the 5-spin test work at Belterra Park Casino? That's where I learned it. That's where I first found it. I found it at other places, but I found it there first. Now, since I found it, Belterra Park outside of Cincinnati, for those who don't know, outside of Cincinnati, has gone under new management. Boyd Gaming purchased them, and it's been long enough since then that they would have reset things up. So, yeah, I learned it there, but over a year, I watched the $7,000, $5,000 wins that you would get in the first 5 spins, and some of my shorts on YouTube. A lot of my shorts that show that are Belterra Park. They over about a year. I learned the basics of it by watching other people and like, what did that person just do? Look, jackpot, and just go right down a row and at Belterra Park. But a year later, it was one of my regular casinos. A year later, it was so, they reduced the wins until, I took a bunch of videos that I have as shorts on my YouTube channel, and it was down to $500, and I was like, well, pays the gas, it's a profit. It's not a hand pay anymore, but still worth it. And then a few months after that, it reduced it till you weren't breaking even. Now I haven't. I moved a little further north, about 30 miles, and from where I was, and now. I haven't checked out Boyd Gaming. I've been there, but I haven't been going regularly. That's a change in my, trying to get out to more casinos. So I'm not quite sure what they're doing, but you have my test approach and you can try it. They used to have it and it used to be fantastic. Absolutely. Chuck is saying no water and power for 2 days, boiling water until the city says it's okay not to. Well, I was born and lived for 15 years in Flint, Michigan, so bad water is part of my history. Wow. Linda K. San Diego, warm and sunny. That's funny. Let's see here. Bring that down. And where was I in the questions? I want to get back to where I was at. Magpie 11, hi everyone. I just moved to Vegas, ready to test some properties. Excellent. Sue says, hi there. I have no luck ever at a casino. Really disappointing. Yeah, Absolutely. It can be very frustrating, but there are times, there are machines, um, and there are days and times of days, which are better than others, and a lot of people don't realize that. So we can start switching things up for you. You can start switching things up for you. The book shares a lot of that. Oh, thank you, Kathy, for your donation. Did you have a question? Actually, I want to share this one. Yeah. And okay, start working through these a little. Skinny says, "Hi, Professor. You showed a photo of a slot machine that someone calls yes. I want to say one. What's his name? Vital Vegas podcast. He calls it Old Faithful in Las Vegas downtown. It's at three. Which one is it? Three Queens or Five Queens? Five Queens downtown. It's near the cashier. I try to put the description in the article, so on my website. So yeah, I tried to show the picture so you could sort of like see what's around it as well. And it's over by the cashier at Four Queens. Four Queens, that's right. Now, I haven't been there recently. We all know that these things get switched out. It can be years, but at some point I would expect that they would replace it. But check by the cashier's office at cashier's window by Four Queens. It should be like right there's the cashier's office and right there's the machine. It's on the end of a row. Okay. Oops. So, right. So questions, Joyce, review your 5-spin method. Is it 5 spins and not hitting at all? No, it's 5 spins and stop. And stop if before 5 spins if you win anything. The machine gives out a taste, and it's my strategy one. You can find it on YouTube. It's pretty popular, or you can check my website. And there's basically the casino is giving out a taste, the first few wins, and I say, it's there for the casino to encourage you to continue playing. But I say stop, go to the next machine, collect that taste. Go to the next machine, collect that taste. And it works at about 1 in 4 casinos. So that's the 5-spin method. It's also known as strategy one. All right, let's keep moving here. Is it a losing bet to bet the minimum? Is this still talking about Belterra Park? No, the minimum or maximum doesn't really matter. I was doing this in the high limit room. Of course, you don't want to go exceed your budget, but it wasn't different odds depending on how many credits you bet. Linda, can you tell us what time is best to play? The best time to play depends on the strategy. One thing you can do is not change the time that you play. That might be convenient for you. Look around and watch to see if anybody wins. Make a note of what day of the week that was, what time of the day that was, and come back 1 week later and play through that same time period. Maybe start 5 minutes earlier. Because if that casino set that up to win, then, which they can do, they will do, then you want to play at that time. And if you do it enough times, you would find that your odds have improved. You always play it. Personally, I do. I mean, personally. But for Professor Slots, I'm not trying to build a community of high limit players. That's not a good business plan. So I now play low limit. And I don't get too much chance to play high limit because I don't play personally as much as anything like I used to. I used to go multiple times per week. Each time I take $3,000. And now, I'm trying to say, well, if one of you takes $200 to a casino, what might you do with that? And also to analyze what the casino is casino by casino, and say, well, if you go to this casino, I found some success with this and with that and the other thing. So yes, if you want to talk high limits, we can talk high limits. It's something I've done the most of, but it's getting to the point where now I'm doing a lot more low limit, and I'm getting better at that and learning the games. And not that I think games matter, not that I believe or games have anything to do with it. It's on the end of the row. Out of all identical slot machines, they're not identical. Play the one on the end of the row that has a view of the area. Okay, AK, have any interest in approaching online casinos? No. Strategy 1 has a possibility. The 5-pull method, the 5-spin method, has a possibility of working on online slots, but no, online slots don't have any of the, there's no end of the row. There's no, 2 o'clock in the morning and they're trying to balance their accounts. There's really nothing to online. And besides which, so few states have access. Just don't see the point. Let's see. Yes, AK, try the 5-pull method, and let me know. It's very cheap to do that. And let me know. I've had some people tell me in states it's not okay to do this in Ohio where I live. But go and let me know. I have all these worries about online slots. Certainly you would want to play it when it's legal, because gaming regulations are your friend. They're there for you. Okay. Happy? Hi, Happy. I live far from a casino. There's only one. So yes, many people have that problem. Far from a casino, except for one. That casino has no competition. I doubt you're in what is it, eastern Idaho, where the next nearest casino is 400 miles away. But Tampa, Hard Rock, Tampa. Yeah. Okay, so you're staying at the hotel for a few days. You've won 1K twice, but never hand pay tips. Sounds like you're doing fine. Stay with that. Make sure you walk away with some if that's what you want to do. If you want to spend it all, then do that too. Okay. Yeah, I've got an Ohio article coming up. Okay. Would you win the same if, James says, would the win be the same if you picked a different bet amount? If you change denominations, you're changing the odds. If you change the number of credits, but don't change the denomination so that you're just betting more, it will adjust. The win would have adjusted to, let's say you bet, quarter machine, you bet 1 credit. So you bet a quarter. And let's say you were to win something. If you could go back in time and go through that same thing and do everything exactly the same that you did before, and you bet 2 credits, you would win twice as much. 3 would have been 3 times as much as the first time, that sort of thing. My eyes spotted. I'm going to get back to things here. AK, oh my God, OMG, you lived in Flint? Ugh, one of my best friends from there. Horrible what happened. Settlement coming. My father worked there his whole life. And he was one of the people who worked at the Flint water plant. Not that he retired 20 years ago or more. 30 years ago. 25 years ago. 24. Anyway, lots of problems before that, before the Flint water crisis. If I were still there, my grandchildren would be poisoned, that sort of thing. Now you made me sad. Getting weather reports. And let's see, I'm going to try to move along here. Okay. AK, some people mention random number generator, but then there are certain times in machine placement that people seem to win more, which indicates a casino can manipulate machines. Absolutely. I need to put out a couple of, I don't know that very many people are going to be interested, but I need to put a couple of videos out on random number generator. It just seems like everybody's piling on Well, the random number generator does that, and the random number generator does that, and then the random number generator does that too. And I'm like, how is that even related to random number? The random number generator has one job, and it's vitally important, and it doesn't do but a fraction of what everybody seems to think it does. And I blame one of the other slots channels, um, American Casino Guide. They've got a video out there, and I'm just like, dude, 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 you're a table game player. What the heck? You know, could you maybe talk to somebody about how this stuff works? Because, and that came out in 2009, and it's just trammeled. You know, the reason I'm not talking on my channel trying to convince you of anything, right? I am talking to you because you've seen stuff and you're like, how can this be? You know, and I'm giving explanations of why it works. Okay, moving away from random number generators. I should have like a whole show on that. Okay, I'm going to have to come back to where I was at. So, as you probably know, there's a lot more to success with slot machines than just pressing a button at your local casino. From my experience, how's that for a segue? From my experience, the biggest thing you need is a strategic game plan to find the right casino for you and learn how the casino is set up so you can win there. And even after you decide on your favorite casinos, you need to know how to find and when to play candidate slot machines to turn into winning slot machines for you. So that's how you make the most of your casino to optimize your slots performance. There are 4 ways I can help you improve your slots gambling performance. First, read, watch, or listen to my free content. Yes, I have a lot of free content available on my website at professorslots.com, on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/professorslots, and my podcast episodes. My podcast is called Professor Slots. You can find it anywhere you listen to audio. I used to have like a list of like a dozen and a half locations. And after a while, it was just like anywhere, just anywhere. iHeartRadio, whatever, you know, all the others. I can't mention one apparently without mentioning all the others. So I see if I can edit that out. Ghana, Stitcher, Spotify. The list is long. Anyway, the thing is, I've been producing free content for a while. That means I've uploaded hundreds of website posts, YouTube videos, and podcast episodes. That's hundreds of hours of content with more free content all the time. My audiobook at Audible is over 8 hours long. I try to make it interesting so it doesn't seem like 8 hours, but it is. So to help you consume all that content, I created a second way besides free content to help improve your slots gambling performance. I buy my book called Learning to Win. It costs less than $20 with my content organized from one chapter to the next for your convenience. You can find the PDF version available on my website, so I will share that. So this is my website, professorslots.com. And if you go to shop, which is here under account, the first item, and the menu is kind of shrunk if you're on a phone, you can find my book. And there's the price I currently have it set at. I doubt I will change that. It's been that price for a couple of years now. But if you go to Amazon, I also have it up on Amazon. The PDF on my website, professorslots.com/shop, is I get 100% of that. I mean, outside of paying some taxes. But with Amazon, they take a healthy, more than half. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to share exactly how much. 75%. They take. And so I have a Kindle version, which means it's the ebook you can get on your device. And then there's an audiobook, which is available from Audible. Audible also has podcasts. They're free. Mine is one of those. So you can listen to my free podcast on audio on Audible. Then there's also a paperback, a soft cover version, and they're all roughly the same. I can't set the price of the audiobook. It's the most expensive, but I'm not allowed to pick the price of that. They choose to do that. Right. So those are the three options. And it costs less than $20 with my content organized for you. So you can find the PDF on my website, and audio and softcover and ebook versions on Amazon. The third way, which is, I think, which is important, we'll talk about this. The third way I can help you is with paid consultations. Despite all my free content and the walkthrough of most of that content provided by my book, sometimes you have questions, lots and lots of questions, as is indicated by this scrolling this live stream that I'm looking at out of the corner of my eye. If you're here during this live stream, you can ask your questions in live chat. However, the last couple of times, and if you're on the podcast, if you're watching afterward or listening on the podcast, you can email me at john@professorslots.com, where John is spelled Jon, or leave a 3-minute or less voicemail or text message at 702-90-SLOTS. That's 702-907-5687. However, the problem with freely asking your questions is that I've only set aside a few hours each day to do so. The day will soon arrive when I'm not able to answer them, even short answers, and hardly ever long answers. Some of you have seen that in the past, and those days are going away. Some questions need an hour of research. So I can't shortchange 150 other people by doing that research for free. So even in this live stream, a lot of questions have come in during the last few minutes of the show, and there simply hasn't been last few minutes of the last two shows, and there simply hasn't been enough time to answer all of them. However, you can do what Kaleidoscope Soul did. With a $1.99 donation, which would interrupt me, and I would answer that question. Only he says, "Greetings from Joshua Tree, California. Good to see you. Glad you're here." But you can use super chats. If you want to jump to the head of the line, so I'll most likely answer your question. Ask it using a super chat, or ask it early in the show when there's less of them. But you can do that by clicking the $ icon at the bottom of the chat window in the live stream, not afterwards. If this is no longer live for you. So keep in mind that the higher the value, the closer you'll get to the front of the line. After I would answer every question I have for like a year, but now I can't because it's getting to be a lot more questions and a lot more people here. So that's how you can get your question answered here. Or, after my free content and my book, the third thing I've made available are paid consultations, where I actually ask you questions and research and put some effort, hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, whatever it takes, to develop a one-on-one consulting process for building a strategic game plan for you, which I present to you in less than an hour, leaving a time for you to talk about adjustments and how we might want to tweak it, and then answer your questions, lots and lots of questions. So first, you can, let's see here, I will share this. What happens there? Okay. I will go to Professor Slots. You can book.me. So professorslots.youcanbook.me. And this is where you would choose a time. I take Mondays and Tuesdays off from consulting, but I work Wednesday through Sunday, and I have 3 one-hour sessions available. And if you were to click on one of these, you'll be asked first name, last name, email, list of casinos you most often play slots, a range of your bankroll size. If you're over 1,000, just say over 1,000. And what is the focus of the meeting? And I make a note, just tell me everything, and just type away. And then there's the cost, which you can see. And also the question was of how long do you play slots? And that's enough for us to be able to uh, uh, for me to be able to put together a game plan for you and understand what casinos and where you're at and the rules that you live under and if you've got one casino or many casinos, and we put together a lot of good information. I've been doing this for a while, and this year and last year is when I really sort of stepped on the gas on that, improved the sign up process and more. So if you want a more of an explanation of how all that works, you can go to professorslots.com/consultant there, and you can read some of the things I'll talk about today, and some of my policies, and we'll see how far I get to that talking about today, but that's where you'll always find it. And that's where you'll find the updated costs as well. I do plan, the more I do of those consultations, the more it's going to go up. So sign up soon because it will increase. I don't think I'm missing anything just yet. All right. I thought I saw a question. I like your house, Roger says. Looks like a cabin house. It is. So Linda says, what happened to my $5 super chat? Oh, there you are. And did you gotta keep an eye on that? And you didn't ask a question. Well, thank you though for the donation. It is very much appreciated. I'm coming up on a deadline in less than a year of make or break, and I'd like to be able to continue. And every $5, every $1.99 helps. Okay, so if you sign up for a paid consultation, I'll do a complete 360-degree analysis of your areas of interest. I'll cover everything from choosing slot machines, winning strategies, club cards, and even gaming laws that matter for your area. Then when we meet in our Zoom video conference meeting, I'll help you create a cohesive strategy for success and answer any questions you might have. Brody says, I've won 13 taxable jackpots in the last 4 months after listening to your audiobook about how to make a profit from slot machine gambling. Thanks, John. And Ernest says, I've been playing slots for about 1.5 years and never had the experience of a hand-paid jackpot. Since I read your book, I have won multiple jackpots this month. I thank you for the wealth of information that is helping me increase the odds in my favor to win. So I can help you make your slots performance, take your slots performance to the next level. Here are some of the ways I've helped past clients. Show you how to tweak your performance to take more profit home. Help you build an approach to assessing casinos and slot machines available to you. How to stretch and cycle your bankroll to improve your overall slots performance. How to reignite your passion for playing and winning. It's when you're not winning, you don't feel as good about slots. But if you are winning, then then you have to do more taxes or you have to do some more record keeping. But hopefully you'll enjoy that too, because that comes with winning. Winning slot strategies to improve slot machine casino performance, to improve your financial performance and get you to a higher tier level, and manage your casino trips to exactly the right way that avoids gambling income tax preparation difficulties, which can sometimes lead to an audit. So no matter what your performance needs or the size of your bankroll, I can help you get more entertainment, complimentary gifts, jackpots, and achieve your ultimate gambling goals. One or more of those. Instead of wasting your precious time and worry on slot machines that won't give you a win, I can help you create a game plan that leads to a fast improvement rate and gambling success. I also regularly work with reasonably successful slots players and have a proven track record for helping clients with high Players Club tier status to take your slots play to the next level. There's Thad. Thad from Connecticut is actually one of my old professors for which one? That would be the Masters of Science in Engineering Management, sort of a MBA for engineers. I won't say what university, so I don't want to give away work information for him. But Dad from Connecticut said, in all my years, I never hit a jackpot of any size. I was in Kansas last week. I hit the casino after being immersed in Professor Slots. Double explanation points. I sat a slot machine by chance, but realized it was a high odds small jackpot penny machine like you've described. In some way, it encouraged me to play it longer instead of another machine. I won a $1,258 hand pay. TTWU from YouTube says John knows his stuff. In fact, he knows more than all the other slots experts on YouTube combined. You do yourself a favor and set aside a couple hours each week to watch and listen to his videos, take notes. I promise you, by applying his simple strategies, you'll notice a marked improvement and results in your play almost immediately. And Joe from Arizona, I have used John's strategy at Wynn Las Vegas and tribal casinos in California when I lived there, and also in Connecticut when visiting family in New York. I did the 5-pull method on high-limit slot machines. It works, all caps. You must be disciplined, though, and the time and days are very important. P.S. If you're reading this, John, thanks for all you do. Thank you, Joe. So there is another topic that I wanted to get to rather than going through some of my frequently asked questions. And there's one in there about, can you help with online slots? And I think I've already answered that during today's show. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. So besides my free stuff, my book, Learning to Win, and my paid consultations to develop a strategic game plan based on your specific interests, I also want to let you know a fourth way to help, which is under development. Some of you will know about this, but we have such a big audience. When I first started talking about this last year, I haven't talked about it in a while, and I just need to get the word out. So unfortunately, it's not a smartphone app to use while playing slots. Sorry, but such gambling devices aren't legal in most states. So I put that in most recent versions of my book so that people understand that I wanted to do one of those, a couple of them actually. And once I started reading the gaming regulations and the penalties for, have you thought about why so many casinos, I know not all of them do, why so many casinos banned using your phone? Well, it wasn't because they were recording. That's got some element to it, but because there's this historic gaming regulations about using devices to help you win. And, for a little while there, for like video poker, you couldn't use a game that would simulate what you had on your screen, and you could calculate. But they did allow like laminated cards if you had like a crib sheet. And so, there's been a gradual relaxation of some things, but it's still a felony in Las Vegas, Nevada, to use a phone app. So sorry, I stopped development on that. But what I have under development now is an online course for improving your slots gambling performance. It's my 30 days to win at casino slots. That's a provisional title. It'll be 30 days something. The price point will be somewhere between the cost of my book and the cost of a paid consultation. How this course will work is I'll have a lesson for each of 30 days. A single lesson won't take long, perhaps only 10 minutes, although some later lessons will require a trip to a casino or two. You won't have to take this online course in 30 days, of course. You'll be able to complete it in a day, perhaps 2 days, by working through all the lessons at once. For now, I wanted to let you know I'm excited about soon being able to offer this, my first slots course. However, launching an online course is very important to its eventual success. And I've learned a bit more about that, so I wanted to share. Last year, some of you agreed to be beta testers for this first online course. In return, you agreed to be beta testers. You agreed to provide feedback for improvements to the course, as well as testimonials if you felt like you could give me a testimonial after saying, fix this, fix this, fix this. So I still plan to reach out to those beta testers to give them free access to the course as my thanks for helping me develop it. But I've decided to make this initial launch available to everyone, but at a much reduced cost. Once the course is ready for this soft opening, I'll make the announcement here on one of my Saturday live streams, as well as blasting it all over social media. And because it'll be in the live stream, it'll also be in the podcast. However, this will be a soft opening, meaning I'll be closing the course to new signups shortly afterward, probably at midnight on the next Friday. So call it about 6 days later. Over the next 30 days, I plan to, after I do that, I expect to get feedback and hopefully testimonials from those students that signed up before the deadline. I'll use that feedback to improve the permanent full price course as quickly as possible and share the testimonials with future students. And then I'll reopen it on reopen the course at full price permanently. And so that's the plan. 3 current ways to help you. Far too much free content, learning to win as a PDF, audio, softcover, or ebook, and paid one-on-one consultations. With this 4th way, with my 30 Days to Better Slots online course. What comes after that? Well, several things. I'm planning a second online course for those that take the 30-day course, where there will be lessons, but we'll be meeting weekly online for 6 weeks in small groups of perhaps 20 slots enthusiasts. So it's going to be a very limited who can join. And I would not be surprised if it gets booked out for some time, because it's my personal time. I only have so much of it with keeping everything else running that I will be weekly working with you for 6 weeks and going over advanced slots topics, which is more than the 30-day introduction to how everything works and just getting terminology straight and getting you to winning. Well, I hate to shock you. Hopefully you're not going to be shocked, but when you start winning, then you have to do stuff you haven't done before, like getting it out of the casino. So with winning comes more. And so once all these 30 days, we're all self-taught, and I'm trying to change that. And so it's going to be the first course, which anybody can take and everybody could take, because it's going to be fully online, take it at your own pace. But then there's going to be another course where we have, a group of 20, or I have a group of 20. And that's going to be more expensive. But then you can go try stuff and come back, and we can all work together on that. So what comes after that? Well, after that 6-week course, Casino Labs or something like that, I'll call it, there's going to be a white glove treatment where I work with you individually over several months. And that might even involve my coming to visit and go walking through the casino. But that's after I get both online courses up and running. So let's switch over to the live chat again. And I've got about 10 minutes, 8 minutes, a little bit less left. And let's see what questions you might have. Again, if you want yours answered in the next 7 minutes, you might have to jump to the head of the line somehow. So did I see? Yep, I got that one. All the donations seem to be accounted for at this point. Good. Linda, she says I like playing at 2 a.m. And honestly, I'm surprised by how many people like playing at 2 a.m. I'm a morning person, but I'm not that early of a morning person. And yeah, there's something nice about that. And let's see. Yep. Log cabin, third owner. Log cabins get cheaper after the first owner. The first owner pays a lot for it, even though this was put together by the owner and his brother, the general contractor. It's still it's €30 house. So if you want to get a log cabin yourself, get a used one. They're much cheaper. Let's see. Do you think a slot bonus is predetermined? What happens is you press the button to make a bet. The random number generator does its little bit, but then it does all the calculations to determine how much you won. After that, it's not the random number generator that does what's next, although it can be somewhat random, which is, okay, how do I give this money to the player. I could just have it land on the number, but what fun is that? Let's give them a bonus. Yeah, let's do it this way. Let's give them a bonus, and he can, or she can, they can, the player, give them this long bonus sequence. So it's just one way to pay you what the results were that were determined when you press the bet button. So it's not about the play. Is it predetermined? Sure. There's only so many answers. It's not predetermined which one, or if it's going to be a bonus versus just stopping on certain real symbols that give you that amount. It's going to select one. But the amount is determined since you press the button. So I'm not quite sure what you mean by predetermined, but I'll move on. Machines with multi-denominational. Can one denomination be looser than the others? Sure. In general, that's true when it's not multi-denominational, but when you go to a different denomination machine. The thing is, if you go to Nevada, if you're in Nevada, you can go to Nevada Gaming return statistics, and they have a line item, which is, the penny, nickel, dime, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And one of them will actually say multi-denominational. So they will put the return statistics for multi-denominational machines, and you can check to see what that is. But if you go to Louisiana, there's 6 states that have return statistics by slot machine denomination. If you go to Louisiana, they don't have a line item multi-denominational. They have penny, nickel, dime, quarter, etc. And in the fine print, thank you, Jan, for noticing this. She looked through it one time and found it. It says in the gaming regs that whatever denomination was chosen on a multi-denominational machine, that result, those odds were put into that line item that was appropriate for what was selected. So can be depending where you find it. So Linda says, where can I find the book? If you go to my webpage here and you go under account and choose shop, you'll find the PDF there. Otherwise, you can go to just type in Learning to Win under Amazon. My address is a little higher there. Otherwise, I'd type it in for you. And then you can choose from the paperback, the audiobook, and the Kindle ebook. Getting close to the time. Thank you, AK, for letting me know. Can I get an autographed book? I'll pay extra. We can figure out a way to do that if you like. Send me an email. You can either send me your book and I'll send it back, or I have a stack of them and I can send you one, but then you'll need to maybe we can do a donation or something like that so that I can get the cost of the book back. I could get retail costs, but it's got like these bands across it saying not for resale. So if you wanted one, we can arrange something. Email me, John at Professor Slots, where John is spelled Jon, and you can either send me a book or I'll send you one of these signed. We'll talk about it. I can do that. I can still do that. I can't do hundreds per day, but I can still do it now. I can manage it. Steve says, John, I believe casinos are paying out more. I should share that. So you can read it too. More lately, to keep people's interest, this way you will return. But the jackpots that I'm seeing are mostly just over the $1,200, not as many $3,000. Yeah, this is a sort of thing that's why I have a weekly live live stream, and why the paid consultations work, because I will tell you what's going on in a state, but then there's this week and next week, and is this promotion big enough? And there's a lot of details here, but I'm trying to provide a summary of, and I am providing a summary, but still, it is going to be details. Busy Mommy Reviews is here. I'll call you Busy, not Mommy. Thank you. I'm glad you're excited for the online course. 30 seconds. Time flies when you're having fun. Definitely have, and AKA definitely have to be disciplined and have a plan of action to leave a casino satisfied. Yeah. AK, a log cabin is my dream home. I'm jealous. I tell people I'm single. Sorry, that's a terrible thing to say. Right. I'm blushing. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I might set up something where I'm afraid to charge for autographs. Gets to be shipping on my part, and that gets to be something. We'll send me an email, and we'll leave it at that. Hopefully nobody else will see this. Thank you everybody for your comments. I'll see if I can get an autograph book option out there for you. I have a response to that too, AK. And I'm not going to use it. One's enough. I'm sweating now. Okay, so good. And so we are at time, a little bit over. If you're listening on the podcast, stick around and we'll be moving into the next segments of the show. And as always, have fun, be safe, and make good choices. Thanks, everybody.